अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली रब्बना ज़िदना इल्मा आमीन या रब्बल आलमीन। Welcome to Chronicles of Surf. We have started advanced surf. In advanced surf, we have been learning about the irregularities in the surf. We learn about three irregularities in the surf, that is mahmuz, mudaf, and mu'tal. We know that for mudaf, when we have the two root letters as same, like the ain and the lam kalima, we have then mahmuz, then when one of the root letters is hamza, then we have mu'tal when one of the root letters is the waw or the ya. Mudaf, when we have the ain and the lam kalima, the second and the third root letters are same. In Mahmuz, one of the root letters is Hamza. It can be Fa kalima, it can be Ain kalima, or it can be Lam kalima. Also, now we are starting with Mu'tal. When one of the root letters is Waw or Ya, we have different types of Mu'talla. The first type is Al-Misal, when the first root letter is the Waw, the Fa kalima is the Waw. Then we have Ajwaf, the second root letter is Harf Illa. That means Ain kalima is harf illa. It can be waw, it can be ya. Then we have the third type of mutal, and that is nakis. When the third root letter is a harf illa, that means a lam kalima is can be or it can be waw or ya. Then we have two other types, al-lafif, al-mafruq. When the first and the third kalima are harf illa. The fa and the lam kalima are harf illa. They can be waw, they can be ya. That's called al-lafif or mafruq. Then we have al-lafif makroon when a second and the third uh, kalima are harf illa. The ain and the lam kalima are harf illa. So inshallah, we are starting with Motal and we are going to learn about these five types of irregularities. Misal, Ajwaf, Naqis, Al-Lafif Mafrook, Al-Lafif Makroon. So let's start with Misal. When a first kalima or the fa kalima is harf illa, wow or ya. This is a chart of the irregularities. We have Mahmuz, Mahmuz al-Fa, Mahmuz al-Ain, Mahmuz al-Lam. And these are the examples. Alhamdulillah, we are done with Mahmuz. When a Fa kalima was um, Hamza, then we have Ain kalima as Hamza, then we have Lam as Hamza or Mahmuz. We can see the examples here. Akala, Yakulu, Sa'ala, Yasalu, Dara'a, Yadra'u. Here, a first kalima, the fa kalima is a hamza. Here, a middle kalima, ain kalima is a hamza. And here, the last letter or the last root letter is the hamza. A lam kalima is a hamza. Then we learn about mataf and two root letters, the ain and the lam kalima were the same. Here you can see kassa. So what do? We are going to join them with a shadda. Kassa ya kusu. And there were conditions we, alhamdulillah, are done with those conditions as well. Now let's start with this. Mu'tal, al-misal, al-ajwaf, al-naqis, lafif mafrook, and lafif makroon. These are the examples that we are, inshallah, going to do in detail. So here al-misal, when a first letter, the fa kalima is harf illa. So here you need to learn that it can be misal wawi. These are the names given in Arabic for when the root letter fa kalima is waw. So we will call that one as misal wawi because the first root letter, the fa kalima is waw. And then we have misal yai. That means the first root letter is ya, ya isa, ya yasu. There are many rules that we need to learn about misal. When a first root letter, the fa root letter is a wow. It can be wow, misal wawi, it can be ya, misal yai. Also, you need to remember that misal wawi can be for salasi mujarrad when we have only the root letters, or you can say when we have small families. It can be for that one as well. And also, misal wawi can be found in mazid fi families, the big families. Also, same for misal yai when a fa kalima is ya. It can be found in Salasi Mujarrad, the small families, and Mazid Fihi, the big families. So here what we need to learn for Misal that there are, when we are changing these weak letters, wow, ya, or it can be alif. So here we need to learn about what changes are going to happen when we are applying Misal rules or uh, the rules for the fa kalima when it can have a wow or ya. So it is called ilal, like the weak letter modification or alteration. Like when we are going to change the weak letters wow, ya, and alif, like into any other letter, like there can be the changes can be like dropping it, like moving it to the next letter, or also there are many rules that we need to learn about these this misal to make them easier to pronounce, because sometimes we do see the combination of the words that are difficult to pronounce when there is the irregularity that is concerned with wow or yeah. So according to that, when those changes occur, we call them ilal. So what happens, like these changes usually happen in the words that contain harfe illa, the weak letters. So let's learn about ilal, the modification first. We can have different types of ilal. We have ilal bil kalb, that's ibdal. We know that that's changing one weak letter into another, like depending on the era, the fatha, the dhamma, the kasra, what do we have before and after? According to that, we are going to change the weak letters that is our harfi illa. Then we have ilal bil hasf, that means the dropping of the weak letter. Like as the main you can say the reason for the ilal, the main reason for the alteration or the modification in the word is like the easy pronunciation. So sometimes it gets hard to pronounce the word. So what we do, we need to drop a weak letter. Like you can see here, here we have dropped this harf illa. Wow, that was in the middle, and that the normal word, like you always learn about this really cool. So here, what was the asal of the word kul, that it was like cool. So here it wasn't cool while it was in Arabic. So what we did, what the Arabs did, like they made a rule like dropping or the hasf of this wow, harf illa, and the wow is dropped. So it becomes kul. Now it's easier and shorter to pronounce. Then we have ilal bil nakl, like transferring the vowel or the haraka, like fatha, the kasra, to another letter to make it like easy to pronounce. According to the letter, like here, we have this word that becomes keel, kivl. So here you know that this is quite difficult to pronounce. So what we did, we changed this letter, this wow, according to the kasra before it, and we just put that word, or you can say, uh, the wow can be changed into alif or wow. Yeah, so it was changed according to the haraka that was before it. So now we know that the compatible haraka and its letter, like the fatha is compatible with alif, the kasra is compatible with ya, and the dhamma is compatible with waw. So here we see the kasra. So what we need to do, we need to drop or we need to change this letter according to the haraka before it. So now kibble becomes keel, and we have seen this word many times. So also we see elal bit taskin, and it is changing mutaharik, or you can say the weak letter like waw, ya, or alif with a haraka into a static one like with a sukoon to ease pronunciation. As I mentioned that the elal or the modification just happens, the one big reason for that one is for the ease of pronunciation, like the words become easy to pronounce, and that's why we have all these rules of for the irregularities, like dropping um, the letters, or dropping a haraka, changing the haraka, or adding, or like these things. So these all happen in the irregularities of surf when we see the vowels in our words. So, inshallah, when we are going to learn each of them in detail, we'll see that how easy they are to learn. There are so many rules, but with practice, inshallah, we'll see that how these all these rules work. So here you see the word yakumu, which was originally yakumu. So what happened here? We have just transferred, you can say, just transferred this dhamma to this letter, or this become with the sukoon, just for the ease of the pronunciation. Like yakwamu, it's quite difficult to pronounce. So yakumu was an easy pronunciation. That is why this change happened. So the main thing for all these changes, as mentioned, is just for the ease of the pronunciation. The vav here was originally mutaharik, like it had the dhamma, which was made sakin with a sukoon, and now it becomes yakum. Also, we see yabiyu, which was yabiyu, which was not easy to pronounce, and that is why what happened that this ya just came here, like this ya gave its harka to the letter before it, and now it became this sakin with the sukoon on it. So Yabiu was before changing this all haraka, it was Yabiu, which was not easy to pronounce. So this ya was mutaharik, and it was changed into sukoon, as you can see, Yabiu. So we can combine the last these two that we have learned. Like we have these three: elal bil kalb, elal bil hasb, elal bil nakl. So Elal with Taskin, so we have like two things here. So we can combine these here, like this one, Elal Nakl and Elal with Taskin. We can combine these both, Elal with Taskin wa Nakl Haraka Ilama Qablu. So here we see whatever the Haraka before, it can be given, like here you can see, it can be like you can change the letter, or you can give the haraka to the letter before. So these two can be combined in one. Like you are also changing the haraka, you are transferring it to the letter before it, and also you are changing the letter. You are changing the weak letter. Wow can become ya or aleph. So let's see, inshallah, in detail. So we have ilal. We learn that we have this ilal bil kalb. It is called the ibdal as well, because it just changes it. You can say here ibdal from badal, so it is changing the letter. Then we have this, like we have the suhoon on the harf illa, or the letter is changed, or we have this transferring of the haraka. Then we have iral bil has, in which we are going to drop harf illa for ease of the pronunciation. All these rules, the main reason for all these rules again is for the ease of the pronunciation. Now let's see here. We have this normal daraba chart. Daraba yadribu, the stable daraba yadribu darban fahuwa daribun. Then we have duriba yudrabu darban fahuwa madrubun. والأمر منه اضرب والنهي عنه لا تضرب والظرف منه مضرب ومضرب ومضربة. So we have this family one. thus daraba yadribu. So what happens when we are applying it to the misal? That means we have the first root letter as our harf illa, wow, ain, and dal. So here you see wow, the fa kalima is harf illa, and that's what misal is. Now, what happens when we are going to just put these root letters into the Daraba family? So we are starting with family one because in this way we are going to learn the rules of this misal easily because it's family one, like the rules are easier to apply. So let's see here what changes does it make. So here, Faili Madi, we see Daraba, so it becomes Wa'ada. We see no change here. Wa'ada. Daraba, Wa'ada. Faili Mudare is here Yadribu. Yadribu. But here we see Ya'idu. What happens here? We can see here the misal. In misal, the first letter that was the Fa kalima is dropped in Faili Mudare. It was not Yavidu. It was not Yavidu. So, because it was not easy to pronounce, as I mentioned, that the main purpose of this, all these rules that we are going to learn in Motal is just for the ease of the pronunciation. And there are so many rules uh, at first, like they become hard to remember, but with practice you know that like everything that is happening is just for the ease of the pronunciation. So what happens here, it was like the asl letter word was yavidu, yavidu, but it was quite hard to pronounce. So what rule we have, we are going to drop the weak letter, we are going to drop the weak letter. So Yavidu becomes Yaidu. We dropped wow here. So Fele Mudare, you see Yaidu. So here you see Yaidu. For the Masdar, again we see the wow here. There is Darban, it is Wadan. Also, we see Wa'idadan. Wa'idadan. So, one thing you need to remember that for family one, we do not have a fixed Masdar. As we have learned in our sub families that for family one, we do not have a fixed masdar. We need to go back to or refer the dictionaries for the masdars because every time you see a word that has different masdars, not a fixed pattern, it doesn't have a fixed pattern. So for masdar here, for wada, we have two masdars, wadan wa idatan. Isim file is on the pattern of daribun, fahuwa daribun. Isim file wa idun. So here you see wa'ada ya'idu wadan wa idatan. Fahuwa wa'idun. So what change do we see? We see the dropping of um, the harf illa, that is waw. So what happens here? Which type of ilal just happened? So we have here is ilal bil hasf because we have the hasf happening here because we have the dropping of the waw, the harf illa. So what type of ilal did we apply here? Did we apply here? It is ilal bil hasf. So wa'ada ya'idu wa'adan wa'idatan wa'idun. So this is daraba yadribu darban fahuwa daribun. So what type of irregularity we saw here? We saw that we have the waw, the fa kalima, the harf illa. So there was nothing changed in the first line. Fele madi, fele mudare, masdar wa ism file. We only do see a change here in fele mudare, and that is the dropping of the waw, the dropping of harf illa. That was our fa kalima. Let's see here, فعل ماضي مبني للمجهول duriba. So it is ru'ida. Again, no change, but we do see another, you can say, u'ida also, فعل ماضي مبني للمجهول. This wow can be written as the alif as well. So u'ida, or you can write it as u'ida. So these are also the rule. And for these rules, only I can say that you need to remember all these rules because there are so many rules. But as I mentioned, that with time, you get familiar with all these rules of uh, misal and all these irregularities. So now we have the fi'l mudari mabni lil majhul. It is yudarabu. So we have you adu, we have you adu. So wow comes back. So you see here for failure mudari mabni lil majhul, we have this wow back again. So here this is the sukoon, and so we can call it as you adu. We can call it as you adu. So yudrabu, you adu. There is no change. Then we have the mazhar, wadan, waidatan, and then we have madrubun, we have maw'udun. So we do see a wow here. The change here, only here, that is highlighted with red, where there is a hasf of the harf illa. Wow. Fail amr, we have idrib. Now here we have id, because again we saw that there is the dropping of the harf illa. So harf illa is dropped here. Simple. Whenever we have in misal the fa kalima as a fail we need to drop the harf illa. That becomes id. Simple. And then we have the fail nahi, that is la ta'id. Again, we do not see harf illa. Harf illa is dropped, and now it's easy to pronounce la ta'id. It was la tadrib. We do see the first root letter here, but we do not see the first root letter here. We have dropped it. So la ta'id, that is what we have for fail mudari. Um, Wow, ayn, and dal. We have the fi'l nahi, la ta'id. Ism zarf is maw'adun wa maw'adatun. Just like this. And we have ism ala as well, mi'adatun, mi'adun, and mi'adun. So we know that we have three types of ism ala, we have three types of ism zarf, and all these we can see them in the dictionary, because for family one, we know that there is nothing fixed. Like we have different types of mazhar. Also, there is a fixed pattern for ism zarf and ism ala. So we are going to apply that one for all these three types: mi adatun, mi adun, and mi adatun, mi adun. And then we have for ism zarf, we have three patterns: ma'adun, ma'idun, and ma'adatun. With the fatha, with the kasra, and with this tamal buddha. So what change we do see here is ilal bil hasf, and that is this dropping of the waw here only in fi'l mudari. But waw is coming back in fi'l mudari mabni lil majhul, and also we see in fi'l and fi'l nahi there is no waw. There is no harf illa. That was a fa kalima for fi'l and fi'l nahi. We dropped that one. So, inshallah, we are going to continue this study of Misal Wawi in our next session. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.